the station working for you. This is WRTV News at 11, streaming now.
State health officials are bracing for the next 2 weeks as Thanksgiving celebrations are expected to lead to more spikes in COVID-19 cases, hospitalizations, and deaths. Thank you for joining us. I'm Amanda Starantino.
And I'm Mark Mullen. 16 of the state's 92 counties are listed in the most dangerous red category on the State Department of Health's weekly tracking map. All but one county is assigned to the next riskiest orange rating. The state's 7-day rolling average of COVID deaths have reached 60 per day. That average was less than 10 a day in July. And hospitalizations have skyrocketed more than 350% since late September, when Governor Eric Holcomb lifted nearly all business and crowd restrictions. At today's weekly briefing on the pandemic, Governor Holcomb was asked if more should have been done to try to prevent the current situation.
We typically don't look back. I've said before that, I mean, if that's the direction you want to go is backwards, then look that way. But we're looking forward each and every day and trying to do more where it works. And this isn't there is no, magic wand where you can just say, we'll do this and it'll go away. No state in the country, and there have been a lot of different approaches to this. And so we look at what's working in different places, and what I just subscribe to is this has a lot to do with we, the people, as individuals, caring for others and taking steps and recognizing that any short-term sacrifice or inconvenience is tenfold worth it for the long-term gain.
Governor Holcomb says he has spoken with different elected officials, business leaders, hospital leaders, and other stakeholders across the state. He says a common theme in those discussions was avoiding a blanket policy when it comes to fighting COVID.
Healthcare workers continue to share messages in an effort to reach people who do not think COVID-19 will impact them or do not seem to care how it impacts others.
We're all very tired. I'm very tired. And I feel that this time around is a little bit different in the public's eye, somewhat. Not that they've forgotten about us, it's just that it's been going on so long now. It's just another day to a lot of people. But we've been living this since March, and there has not been a day that went by that we haven't taken care of COVID patients.
JODY White is a respiratory therapist at IU Health. ABC News posted her video diary online. JODY also shared her experiences with WRTV last month. 9 months into the pandemic, she and others still have to beg people to take the virus seriously.
I want to get this message out that this is real. People need to understand that we are tired and frustrated, and we get angry when we are out places and people are not complying with what we are as a public are asked to do, is just to wear a mask. That's it. That's really it. I really want people to understand this is taking a toll on a lot of healthcare workers to the point where they're leaving.
Staffing shortages and an increase in patients are forcing many hospitals to make difficult choices. Some are diverting emergency patients, others are postponing elective procedures. Johnson Memorial Health has been trying to hire additional staff members for months. The president and CEO tells WRTV until they find people to fill those roles, current employees have to do more.
It's scary to think that you don't have enough staff, and you call, you try to incentivize, but again, people can only work so much, and there's only so many people out there with the potential to work.
Leaders with Johnson Memorial Health say 22 staff members at the Franklin Hospital were out due to COVID yesterday. That's the most since the beginning of the pandemic.
Now to the WRTV forecast. Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory is tracking another cold night for us. Kevin.
Mark, clear sky, calm wind, cold temperatures already. Another frosty morning tomorrow, whether it's Monument Circle or pick any other spot in the 92 counties in Indiana. Temperatures are cold. We're in the 20s right now. Indianapolis leading the way at 29, 28 in Shelbyville. Temperature just above freezing in Muncie. What's changed since we talked this evening? Lowered the temperatures overnight. The forecasted temperatures now just a few degrees cooler, all in the low 20s. 24 or 25 is the average low temperature this time of year. Keep in mind, these temperatures are still warmer than what we had this morning when we were all in the teens. Tomorrow, 45 for the high, with more clouds in the southern half of the state. There's the progress. By noon, we're at 40. Afternoon temperatures pushing the mid-40s. We'll look at your weekend forecast and the December outlook. That's all coming up.
Heading into the holidays during a pandemic has a lot of people taking stock of the comforts they're fortunate to enjoy, like a way to stay warm in the winter. WRTV's Cameron Riddle introduces us to a local businessman who is working to provide dozens of kids with new coats this winter.
2020 has been a challenge to the health and financial stability of families across central Indiana. That's why local entrepreneur and real estate agent Mike Scott is giving back to the community.
I actually had a friend reach out to me, her name is Tamika Graves, and she said, hey, Mike, we should do this coat drive.
Just in time for winter weather, he's providing warmth for the city's kids during a coat giveaway this weekend, which he says will be the first of many. The need for help is something he has seen firsthand in his line of work.
This pandemic going on and seasonal depression, there's a lot of people out here who, we're in the housing industry, so a lot of people out here we see struggling, having a hard time, and we want to take some of that weight off so these kids aren't cold, and it's one less thing for a parent to worry about.
80 brand new coats, which Scott paid for himself, are ready for boys and girls in need of a way to stay warm this winter. The only requirement is that the child be present at the giveaway. Scott says 2020 has been a mixed bag of good days and bad days, but he knows that every day can be better when people are given the help they need.
It's been a tough year, even for myself. I'm a bubbly guy, happy guy, but I go through my days and my weeks. But, my first thing is to make sure I'm taking care of the next person and hopefully take care of me the same.
Cameron Riddle, WRTV.
The coat giveaway is happening this Sunday, December 6th at noon in parking lot of Northwest Middle School at the corner of 34th Street and Muller Road. Again, children must be present to receive a coat.
WRTV is sharing stories from small business owners. Capacity limits and other restrictions may not be directly impacting them, but they are still feeling the trickle-down impacts of closures and restrictions.
When it was prom season, I was devastated because I was like, oh my God, this is where almost 80% of my business is, because everybody wants a prom gown and everybody wants to be the belle of the ball. And, there was never a ball for the belle to show up.
Nikki Blaine's couture shop is in Zionsville. She's been in business for 10 years. She has adjusted to the effects of the COVID crisis by making custom masks. Just one street over is another woman-owned business. Kelly Pachowski opened the Green Apple Boutique 8 years ago. We asked her about the importance of shopping local.
When you buy local, you're supporting the community as a whole. You're supporting somebody's dream. This was a manifestation of so many ideas that pulled together for me.
The Green Apple has adjusted to the times by moving to a lot of the merchandise online and by delivering personal styling boxes to customers' homes. In Avon, Bamber's Sweet Creation shares a space with locally owned and operated Orange Leaf franchise. Owner Amber Singleton hoped the well-known name and experience of the frozen yogurt shop would help her shop, but the pandemic hurt both businesses.
We had to completely shift. Our whole model is people come in and they get their frozen yogurt themselves, and now that is off the table.
People aren't able to get larger orders for larger parties. If they get cupcakes, they have to be individually packaged. So just trying to adapt and move forward, but it definitely has been slow. It's been a little rough.
Right now, Orange Leaf and Bambers are pushing holiday sets and encouraging customers to buy gift cards in hopes of getting an end-of-the-year boost in business.
President Trump continues to question the results of the November election. His claims are starting to anger some of his fellow Republicans who are also election officials. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has the latest from Washington.
Denying defeat, President Trump still not publicly acknowledging he lost the 2020 election. Instead, the lame duck president is continuing to push unfounded claims of voter fraud.
Thank you.
Now releasing a 46-minute post on Twitter and Facebook filled with unverified information.
I am determined to protect our election system, which is now under coordinated assault and siege.
Twitter and Facebook flagging the video. Throughout Trump's message, the president presented no new or valid hard evidence of widespread voter fraud. With a Senate runoff race in Georgia coming up next month and control of the chamber at stake, GOP election officials in the state passionately pleading to the president to tone it down.
Be the bigger man here and step in, tell your supporters, don't be violent, don't intimidate. All that's wrong, it's un-American.
Sterling says he became angry after a 20-year-old election contract worker began receiving death threats and a noose with his name on it. Georgia's Republican Secretary of State also scolding Trump after he mockingly retweeted Sterling's passionate news conference.
This is exactly the kind of language that is at the base of growing threat environment for election workers who are simply doing their jobs.
Adding to the growing chorus undercutting Trump's false claims of fraud, U.S. Attorney General Bill Barr. Barr stating that the Department of Justice to date has not seen fraud on a scale that could have affected a different outcome in the election. Trump's campaign lawyers hitting back at Barr, saying his, quote, opinion appears to be without any knowledge or investigation of the substantial irregularities and evidence of systemic fraud. But Barr asserts the Department of Justice looked but hasn't seen anything to substantiate that. And while Trump tries to cling to power through the courts, his losses are piling up. To date, Trump and his allies have lost at least 31 different election cases. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, Washington.
Coming up, why a central Indiana doctor is stepping away from traditional patient care to help people who are struggling to pay for that care.
And if you're looking for a seasonal job, the Indiana Department of Transportation is hiring for the winter. What you need to know before you apply.
From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 11, streaming now.
An annual holiday performance will look much different this year due to the pandemic, but the show will go on. Starting next week, the Indianapolis Ballet will perform Nutcracker Suites, a condensed version of the Nutcracker. Founding artistic director Victoria Liris says the production will still be entertaining and beautiful, but with many safety precautions.
It's not anywhere the complete production that we do in a very large theater with a full orchestra. There was absolutely no way that we can do it safely, and certainly not under the current guidelines. We are performing in some beautiful costumes, fully masked.
Yesterday, the city announced dozens of grants for performing arts organizations. The Indianapolis Ballet received around $15,000. The money is from the Federal CARES Act.
This CARES Act funding is so important to us because it's really our survival. If we don't have ticket revenue coming in, and especially now where everything is reduced down to 25%, if we don't have individual and corporate sponsors behind us and the generous foundations in the community, there is no way that we as an organization can survive, or pretty much any other organization.
The Nutcracker Suites opens next Friday, December 11th at the Toby at Newfields. For more information, you can go to indyballet.org. And I know a lot of people this time of year are getting outside to see some of the light displays, either at the IMS or at the fairgrounds or at Newfields, Kevin. And of course, the temperature makes it feel that much more winter-like.
Yeah, some of those you can stay in the car for, but at any rate, it's dry and somewhat cold. But that's just the first 2 days of the month. I want to show you the outlook for the month of December, and that favors above average temperatures as we go through the month of December. As far as precipitation, average to below average precipitation forecast. So we typically have 7 inches of snow during the month. This would favor a little less than that. Historically, about a 30% chance we'd have a white Christmas. As you know how it works here, snow doesn't stay on the ground all that long, but a timely snow would mean a white Christmas. Well, rain in southwest portions of Missouri tonight. There's snow in Oklahoma and Kansas. I show you the weather system. It'll spread some mid to high level clouds into the state tonight and tomorrow, but watch as this spins to the southwest, and then forecast models keeping this south of the Ohio River. There could be a sprinkle or two north of that, but the main thrust of this storm system stays to the south and then pushes to the east, allowing our forecast to have a few more clouds, but really not be impacted much. Temperatures mid-40s next 2 days. It will be a step backwards for the temperature department as we go into the weekend. Temperatures right around 40, both Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures tomorrow. By noon, we're back to 40. That'll be a nice little jump. We went from 19 today to 44. Tomorrow, we'll start a little warmer and end about the same, 45, because we'll battle more in the way of cloud cover. You can see that for the southern half of the state. That's the northern portion of that storm system that sits well to the south. There are the temperatures tomorrow statewide, just about average for this time of year. Friday, a little more consistent sunshine, at least at the beginning of the day. We may see clouds increase late. 46 for the high. Into the weekend, as I mentioned, temperatures around 40 for overnight lows. Low temperatures will be in the 20s, but they should be in the middle to upper 20s. Next 7 days, any chance for rain or snow mixing in, very low. Pretty calm forecast. Temperatures do bounce back from 39 on the Sunday and Monday to 46 in the middle of next week, and the warmest low temperature back to around the freezing mark. So we take another chunk out of December with a 7-day forecast.
All right, Kevin, thank you. I want to make a quick clarification. Usually the IMS does host holiday lights. That has been canceled for the public this year. The Indiana Department of Transportation is still hiring Hoosiers for the season as it starts to look and feel like winter. A job fair will be held from 9 to 3 tomorrow at the INDOT facility on Brookville Road near Shadeland on the far east side of Indianapolis. Applicants should be able to pass a drug screen and background check, bring a valid CDL, and a current Department of Transportation physical if possible. For more information, go to hiringhoosiers.com.
The Rebound Indiana is showing you how people are stepping up to help Hoosiers in need and where you can get assistance. A Boone County restaurant is serving more than food. It's serving the community. Dinner Divine in Zionsville will contribute 10% of this month's sales to 10 local charities. Owner Karen Glass says she wanted to do something meaningful during the holidays.
I just really felt like I could make a difference by picking these people, and I knew that they would instantly, the money they got every month would return back to the community in a very positive way.
The organizations include Coburn Place, Indianapolis Community Tennis Program, Redemption Rescue, and the Garden Community Church.
The pandemic has brought more attention to the medical debt crisis. 2 local doctors have seen those struggles firsthand, and now they're working to ease that burden. Dr. Jeffrey Meltzer is taking a leave of absence from his work as an OBGYN to focus on the Indiana Health Fund. The charitable organization was founded by Dr. Meltzer and his wife. The fund will pool together medical debt and negotiate down the cost on behalf of families in need and pay it off. Dr. Meltzer says the organization just happened to be incorporated in the week of shutdowns back of March. Now, he says the timing could not be better as more Hoosiers struggle with health issues and the ability to pay in this ongoing pandemic.
You know, with healthcare being tied to people's jobs, and if you think about all the people in the service industry who are not working, you know, just routine healthcare becomes a major problem for the average person.
The Indiana Health Fund works with individual donors, public and private foundations to pay off debt at no cost to the individual in need. The organization serves families who make 2 to 4 times the federal poverty level, or about $50,000 for a family of 4 with high deductible plans and facing medical bankruptcy. To donate or to apply for help, go to WRTV.com/rebound and click on this story.
The annual WRTV Toy Drive is underway. Your donations will go to organizations like Grassroots Projects. Here's a closer look at how that group serves the central Indiana community.
Hi, I'm PRIYA, the president and co-founder of Grassroots Projects. We are an organization which was established in 2017 to serve and provide basic needs to immigrant children from under-resourced communities, low-income communities. 38% of immigrant population suffers from food insecurity. So we started this new project where we have been calling these families and providing them gift cards for shopping for the holidays so that these children get healthy, home-cooked, nutritious food. We are trying to reach out to all these families who have difficulty reaching out to resources because of language barrier, transportation issues, and just being new to the country and not knowing how to access them. We customize the package to them, and we provide the packages at their doorstep. We had to completely restructure and do a food insecurity project and the basic care package. We have been doing all non-contactless drop-offs. All our volunteers were given masks and sanitizers. We have been using Amazon for online shopping. So we are doing our best to keep these families safe and protected during this pandemic. And soaps and masks that we are placing in every care package that we are sending to our kids. I really think the toy drive by WRTV is going to make such a big difference in these children's lives, especially this year, where they have been through the pandemic and all these changes. So thank you so much.
If you would like to donate, members of the WRTV team will be outside 4 Simon Mall locations on Saturday collecting donations. We will be at the Fashion Mall, Castleton Square, Hamilton Town Center, and Greenwood Park Mall. You can also drop off items at U-Store locations across Central Indiana. Our next WRTV, or text WRTV to 345-345. For more info, go to WRTV.com/toy drive. The Colts are preparing to take on the Texans on Sunday, looking to bounce back from a tough loss to the Titans. But today, the team shared a message away from the field. The organization says Colts punter RIGOBERTO Sanchez is doing well. Sanchez is recovering from surgery to remove a cancerous tumor. On Monday, he revealed the cancer diagnosis, which is why he was not kicking off against Tennessee. However, he still punted. That will not be the case this Sunday, but head coach Frank Reich says he is optimistic about Sanchez's eventual return.
I don't mind telling you. I mean, our prognosis is positive for Rigo. So, we're hopeful, and we're hopeful it's not months. We're hopeful is I don't know. I mean, it's this is out of my league, but the reports we're getting are very positive.
In other Colts health news, running back Jonathan Taylor practiced today after coming off the reserve COVID list, and quarterback Phillip Rivers did not practice today. Reich says that decision was made as a precaution. Rivers is expected to play Sunday.
The Pacers are getting training camp underway. Practices are being adjusted for now to just 4 players at a time at the team's St. Vincent Center. We got to look at Domantas Sabonis and Victor Oladipo working on Tuesday. The Pacers have a new head coach as well, Nate Bjorkgren. Oladipo says that he looks forward to being healthy for the new season.
I don't know how to explain it, but when you feel better, you just naturally you just play better when you feel better. It's like when they say when you cut your hair, you look good, you play good. Well, I feel stronger, I'm going to play better. You know what I'm saying? I feel better. Certain movements feel better. It's hard to just gauge and pinpoint one thing or one variable, but everything in general just feels better.
The Pacers will play 3 preseason games. The NBA regular season starts on December 22nd. We'll be right back.
Cold in the morning. We'll have more clouds tomorrow than we did today. Temperatures move from low to mid-20s to the mid-40s for the afternoon high. Almost Friday, Mark. Not quite yet, though. One more day.
We are getting there slowly but surely. Hey, thanks for joining us for WRTV News at 11. GMI head your way at 4:30.